going on, dudes and dudettes? So, yes, USC football has been on a hot trail when it comes to their recruiting for the football team, and I'll get into some of the people that I missed out early on this week, but that big-time four-star defensive lineman I've talked about, Tomuhini Topui, who they nicknamed Tom Topui, the four-star defensive lineman, committed to UNC, and yeah, it's a big-time get for them because he's like maybe not highly ranked on all recruiting systems, but he will be at the end of this season, and kind of weird how some places have him as a 3-star and some other places have him on the verge of being a 5-star. But either way, this guy is one of the big time home runs, especially a guy coming from the state of California staying home for USC. So definitely very happy when he announced earlier on this week. And then they also got a 3-star wide receiver in Cohen Brown, who I believe is from the state of Texas. And they also got a 3-star defensive lineman named Malik Brooks. He's a defensive tackle from Long Beach, California. So yeah, they are cleaning up local guys, and yeah, these guys are 3-star, but they are very talented. Cohen is like a track star too, but he could play very well on the football field. He doesn't just run down the field and catch long passes. He knows how to run routes and is very physical too, so he's a very big time get for them. And then also Brooks is a big body down there on the defensive line. They're just continuing to add multiple guys, which is pretty insane. So hopefully a lot of these recruits that are still there now end up sticking around, and if not, then hopefully they're getting drafted early and going to the NFL. But another big news on the USC side was Juju Watkins being named the Naismith Player of the Year, which was a little bit surprising to me because I thought she maybe wouldn't get that award. But either way, congrats to her just because of that injury and missing out in the past couple of games. And both players who are still in the running for that, Betts of UCLA and Paige Beckers of UConn, who took USC out of the tournament, were still playing. So I thought they might have given it to either of those two. But either way, Juju still won it. She still deserved it. And yes, big time congrats to her. But speaking of some of the more happier things, I'll get into the women's basketball team in a little bit, but the men did defeat Tulane 89-60 in the first round of that Crown tournament that they're doing. AG had like 27 points, Thomas stepped up with 14, and they advanced to play against Villanova on Thursday, like around 6:30 tonight. So yeah, looking forward to seeing if they can continue in this mini tournament in Vegas and hopefully maybe win it and have some recognition towards the end of this little bit of a failed season for the men's basketball side. And then, yes, sadly, the women's lost to UConn, as I mentioned earlier, 78-64. There was just too much of a hole for them to dig out, and they fought their way back, but, yes, sadly, they couldn't get it. Big thank you to Kiki Iriafen, who's a senior who is most likely declaring for the WNBA draft, so congrats to her on her terrific season. And even looking at the overall record, they're tied with 31 wins and 4 losses. That's the most wins in this season for them. The Big Ten record was 16-1. They were the Big Ten champs in the regular season, back-to-back Elite 8 appearances. And, of course, the Big Ten Player of the Year was Juju Watkins, and the Big Ten Coach of the Year was Lindsey Gottlieb. And then, yes, sadly, we did hear some news about some players entering the transfer portal, and one, Avery Howell, who was their main big-time freshman player this year and stepped up pretty well while Juju Watkins was away. But, sadly, I think she mentioned that she's looking to have like a better impact somewhere else, and maybe this is the next step of her journey and all that stuff, so it's the best thing for her future. So I don't know, it sucks because I thought she would have had a nice spot to start again because Juju being out most of the year next season coming up. But I think Kennedy Smith, the other freshman, stepped up quite a bit throughout the season, and they know that she could play defense too, so that kind of put her above Howell, even though Howell has been getting more playing time. But if Howell does go anywhere, please go to Duke, because then she has another ex-Canadian team member in Toby Fournier on that team, so hopefully Fournier is recruiting her to Duke. And then, yes, another player entered in Aaliyah Gales, who didn't really get much playing time. She was the 5'9" sophomore. She has a crazy story off the court, but, yes, sadly just never got enough playing time, I guess, and now she's entering the portal. So we'll see how many more players end up leaving this team. I know Jazzy Davison did play very well in that McDonald's All-American game the other day, had like double-digit points, so it's looking pretty bright for them, and hopefully they can get some more either recruits or transfer portal players. You never know, but we'll see how this ends up turning out for the USC Trojans. So yes, thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, fight on.